Most people cling to the idea of being good as if it's a moral anchor in a chaotic world. They believe that being seen as kind, generous, and honest will earn them favor, loyalty, and reward. But in truth, goodness is not a virtue in power, it is a costume. A mask worn by those who understand that perception is more important than reality. The world doesn't operate on fairness or morality. It moves through fear, self-interest, and the manipulation of appearances. Those who survive and rise are not those who are genuinely good, but those who know when to appear good. People judge based on what they see, not what is. The one who appears charitable, even while orchestrating ruthless moves behind the curtain, will always be praised more than the one who is honestly generous but lacks cunning. Sincerity is wasted if it is not strategically placed. The masses are drawn to symbols and illusions. They do not question the surface. They reward the performance, not the substance. So the smart man understands that goodness, when practiced sincerely and openly, exposes him. It makes him predictable. It makes him vulnerable. There is no glory in being good if it makes you easy to manipulate. When you are seen as harmless, people use you. They smile to your face and plot behind your back, knowing you will never retaliate. They test your limits and exploit your hesitation. They know you will fold because you've convinced yourself that folding is noble, but nobility without power is a quiet form of defeat. It is silent surrender dressed in virtuous language. The most dangerous kind of individual is the one who knows how to wear goodness like armor, but does not rely on it to survive. He uses it when it benefits him. He withdraws it when it costs him. He doesn't need to believe he is good. He only needs others to believe it. That belief becomes a weapon. People trust him. They underestimate him. They never see the strike coming, and by the time they realize the mistake, it's too late. He's already taken what he wanted. True power lies in control over perception. Not in truth, not in virtue, not in moral consistency. The man who understands this does not strive to be good. He strives to be seen as good. There is a vast difference between the two. One seeks internal peace. The other seeks external influence. Only one of them survives when the game turns brutal. Morality is one of the oldest control mechanisms known to man. It is taught from childhood, embedded into culture, religion, and law. It is presented as the boundary between civilization and chaos, the line that must not be crossed. But what most fail to understand is that morality, in the hands of the powerful, is not a rule. It is a tool. It is used not to elevate society, but to control it. It restrains the many while liberating the few who know how to bend it. Those who treat morality as fixed and absolute become prisoners to it. They hesitate when they should act, apologize when they should dominate, and forgive when they should destroy. To win in a world ruled by illusion, you must detach yourself from the false belief that right and wrong are universal. What is praised today will be condemned tomorrow. What is criminal now will be legal later. Morality shifts with power. It follows victory, not virtue. History is shaped not by those who obeyed the rules, but by those who rewrote them. Those who feared stepping outside moral lines were forgotten, or crushed by those who didn't. People will use morality against you. They will invoke fairness to disarm you. They will speak of justice while stabbing you in the back. And if you cling to your moral high ground while surrounded by enemies who don't, you've already lost. There is no honor in being honorable if it costs you everything. There is no reward for playing clean in a dirty game. Power does not respond to righteousness. It bows only to force, cunning, and leverage. A man who understands the game knows how to use morality as a disguise. He speaks of principles, but his actions are calculated. He champions integrity when it suits him, but he abandons it when necessary. He does not feel bound by any code that weakens his position. Instead, he makes others believe he is bound, while he moves freely in the shadows. He does not waste time proving his goodness. He uses the appearance of it to earn trust, loyalty, and opportunity. But behind the smile, he is watching, weighing, preparing. There is a certain type of power that only comes to those willing to blur the lines. Those who treat morality as a weapon rather than a chain. They see rules not as barriers, but as obstacles to maneuver. Where others freeze, they move. Where others hesitate, they strike. They do not ask whether an action is right. They ask whether it is effective, whether it moves them closer to their goal, whether it weakens their rival or strengthens their hand. Kindness without strength is the most dangerous kind of kindness. It is not kindness at all, but weakness disguised as virtue, an invitation to be taken advantage of, a vulnerability in plain sight. When you show kindness without backing it up with power or resolve, you create an opening for others to exploit. People do not respect softness that cannot defend itself. They will push boundaries, test limits, and chip away at your goodwill until there is nothing left. Being good-hearted without being strong-hearted is like building a fortress with walls made of glass, beautiful to behold, but utterly fragile when the storm comes. Strength is the foundation on which kindness must rest. Without it, kindness is no more than a show, a fleeting performance that disappears at the first sign of challenge. The world is full of those who wear the mask of kindness, smiling and agreeable, only to crumble when tested. True power requires more than just good intentions. It demands the ability to enforce boundaries, to protect oneself, and to strike decisively when necessary. Without strength, kindness is a weakness that invites betrayal. The wise understand that kindness must be paired with an undercurrent of force. To be kind without being feared is to be ignored or manipulated. Fear here is not cruelty, but respect for the consequences of crossing a line. People respect those who are not afraid to wield their power when provoked. It is the balance between warmth and steel that commands loyalty and obedience. The leader who can be generous yet unyielding inspires devotion, while the one who is only generous soon finds themselves abandoned. Those who lack this balance mistake kindness for softness and softness for goodness. They confuse mercy with weakness and compassion with submission, but mercy without strength is a gift handed over to the unworthy. Compassion without resolve is a road paved for exploitation. To lead effectively, one must be prepared to be harsh when kindness fails, to switch from friend to adversary with ease. Kindness is a tool, not a rule, and must be applied with precision. In practice, kindness backed by strength means knowing when to offer help and when to withhold it, when to forgive and when to punish, when to yield and when to stand firm. It means cultivating a presence that demands respect even when you are at your most gentle. It means understanding that kindness can be a weapon as much as strength can be a shield. Without this awareness, kindness is merely an open door to those who would do you harm. The world does not judge you by who you truly are, but by the image you project. Reputation is the currency of power, far more valuable than actual deeds or intentions. What others believe about you shapes their actions toward you, determines their trust or fear, their loyalty or betrayal. Reality is secondary. What matters is perception. You may be kind or ruthless behind closed doors, but if the world sees you as weak, your kindness will be trampled and your ruthlessness ignored. If you appear strong and just, even while acting with cunning and cruelty, you command respect and control. This is the undeniable truth few dare to accept. Your reputation governs your fate more than your true nature. Reputation is a delicate but powerful construct, built slowly through deliberate action and maintained by careful management of how you present yourself. It is not enough to do good or evil. You must be seen doing good while hiding your darker motives. People are quick to judge, but slow to understand. They judge the surface because the truth beneath is often invisible or inconvenient. This is why the master of influence invests as much effort in crafting his image as in executing his plans. His reputation becomes a shield, a weapon, and a tool for manipulation. The world respects the man who appears virtuous, even if he is anything but. He is trusted, consulted, followed. Meanwhile, the openly ruthless man, no matter how effective, faces resistance and hatred. The skill lies in blending these extremes, appearing good enough to gain trust and hide your true intentions, but ruthless enough to act decisively when necessary. This balance creates an aura of unpredictability that keeps rivals off balance and allies loyal out of admiration and fear. Illusions carefully maintained can be more powerful than truth. A reputation for mercy can protect you even as you eliminate enemies in secret. A reputation for strength can prevent challenges before they arise. Reputation manipulates expectations and controls behavior. People tailor their actions to your perceived character, giving you control over situations without having to lift a finger. This silent power is the most efficient form of dominance. But reputation is fragile. One misstep, one revealed secret, one moment of true weakness, and the carefully built illusion can collapse. That is why vigilance is required at all times. You must constantly monitor what others say and believe about you, and be prepared to repair or reinforce your image with swift action. You must never allow your true nature to be exposed in a way that undermines your power. Even when you act ruthlessly, your public face must remain untarnished. Those who fail to control their reputation fall victim to the chaos of others' perceptions. They are at the mercy of gossip, rumors, and assumptions. They lose influence because people no longer trust them, fear them, or see them as worthy leaders. In a world ruled by appearances, ignorance of this fact is a fatal weakness. The wise recognize that managing how you are seen is not deception. It is survival. To master reputation is to master power itself. In a world where every move can determine your fate, survival demands more than good intentions or hope for fairness. It requires strategy, a clear-eyed, ruthless understanding of how the game is played. Innocence and naivety are luxuries reserved for those who do not seek power or respect. The moment you step into the arena of influence, competition, and conflict, you leave behind the idea that being liked or seen as morally pure will protect you. Instead, you must embrace the reality that respect and fear are the currencies of survival. Survival is not about being loved. It is about being acknowledged and uncontested. The lamb in the forest does not survive because it is gentle. It is eaten because it is weak. Those who cling to innocence as a shield find themselves prey to the cunning and the ruthless. To survive, you must learn to shed the need for approval and replace it with the drive for control. The world respects strength, decisiveness, and the willingness to do what others will not. Respect is earned through action, and sometimes action requires hard choices. It demands the ability to anticipate threats and act before they materialize, to strike when others hesitate, to seize opportunity in moments of chaos. Strategy means thinking several moves ahead, understanding that every gesture, every word, every relationship carries weight and consequence. Those who survive are not those who react emotionally or morally, but those who calculate, adapt, and execute with precision. Fear is a powerful tool in this struggle. It is not cruelty for cruelty's sake, but a mechanism to maintain order and deter challenge. When others fear you, they think twice before crossing boundaries or testing your limits. Fear demands respect. It enforces obedience. This does not mean living as a tyrant, but rather balancing force with wisdom, being unpredictable enough to keep others cautious, yet controlled enough to prevent rebellion. Fear without control leads to chaos. Control without fear leads to weakness. The master blends both. The need to be liked is a vulnerability. Approval is fickle and fleeting, subject to moods, alliances, and shifting interests. Those who rely on being liked are constantly exposed to betrayal and disappointment. The desire for approval can cloud judgment, forcing compromises that weaken your position. To survive, you must rise above this need. You must be prepared to alienate, to disappoint, to make enemies when necessary. It is better to be feared than loved, because fear is a more reliable motivator. Survival is a continual test of your ability to read people and situations, to know when to cooperate and when to dominate. It requires a mind that is both ruthless and patient, willing to wait for the right moment to act and bold enough to act decisively when the moment arrives. The world is not kind to the innocent. It favors those who understand the brutal laws that govern human nature and are willing to use them to their advantage. Those who cling to innocence in the face of harsh reality are doomed to fail. They become pawns, sacrifices, forgotten names. Survival demands shedding illusions and embracing the cold, hard truths of power. Only then can you navigate the dangers, outmaneuver rivals, and claim your place among the strong. In the end, striving to be simply good is a luxury that the world rarely rewards. True strength lies not in innocence or unquestioning morality, but in mastering the unspoken rules that govern power and influence. To survive and thrive, you must learn to wield kindness with strength, bend morality to your will, and craft a reputation that shields your true intentions. The path to dominance is paved with strategy, calculated action, and the willingness to let go of illusions. Embrace these truths, and you will no longer be a victim of the game. You will become its master.